All right, so it's this or it's doom scroll, and I prefer to do this. Gene Simmons, the Kiss rocker, is recovering after crashing his SUV. Okay. He was driving along the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu when he fainted and crashed into a parked car, said the authorities. Simmons, a co founder and bassist for the legendary band Kiss, was evaluated at a hospital Tuesday before being released. He posted on social media that he was doing well. Thanks, everybody, for the kind wishes. I'm completely fine. I had a slight fender bender. It happens, he said on X. The 76-year-old's SUV crossed several lanes before hitting a parked car along the highway. Agencies that responded to the crash told several media outlets. Simmons was then transported to a hospital, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said. Interesting, huh? So, this is a decoding channel, so you want to see some interesting things about this story? Well, you came to the right place. Now we want to watch a video on this. This is from E News. Maybe we want to watch it. So we may not be able to. So as you see there, it's not gonna play, right? That it happens. That's okay because I think what I have to say is much more valuable. We'll try to watch it over here on YouTube. How about that? Give me the ad, right? Sell me something, Caitlin Clark.
Simmons is recovering after a scary accident. NBC4 Los Angeles reports that the Kiss frontman was involved in a serious car crash in Malibu. The outlet shares that just before 1 p.m. on October 7th, Gene, quote, careened across several lanes of traffic before crashing his SUV into a parked car on the 25,000th block of the Pacific Coast Highway. Following the accident, the rocker reportedly told first responders that he had, quote, passed out or fainted before hitting the other vehicle. Authorities also tell NBC4 that Gene was transported to the hospital but released soon after. The Grammy-nominated artist then tells the outlet that he's doing just fine, with his wife Shannon Tweed adding that the 76-year-old is now recovering at home and that the crash happened shortly after his doctors recently changed his medications. E! News has reached out to Gene's reps as well as the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, but
Well,
hasn't.
is that about his medication?
And that the crash happened shortly after his doctors recently changed his medications. E!
Ah.
News has reached out to Gene's reps as well as the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, but hasn't yet heard back. This news comes as Gene and his fellow Kiss members are set to take the stage in Sin City next month for the Kiss Army Storms Vegas concert, celebrating the band's 50th anniversary. The 3-day event will mark the first time Kiss will be performing together since they retired from touring in 2023.
I just had a story about the Rush 50th anniversary, and Rush has four letters like Kiss. And they're having a reunion tour. Did I not put the. They're having it's like a 50-year anniversary tour or something as well. Rush is celebrating its 50th anniversary with the career spanning anthology Rush 50. To mark the occasion, members Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson have also announced a 2026 reunion tour. Rush with the 4 letters like Kiss, so we get it. What are the odds? Well, it says the year 2023 marked 50 years since the band Kiss was formed, so I guess at 50 years and some change, huh? That's interesting, huh? I think I need to make my coffee stronger. You know, I think I need another scoopsy of some instant coffee. You may hear some rain out in the background as well. We're getting some rain here in Arizona. Okay, so I told you that you came here for some connections, right? Right? I tell you, you came here for some connections. Check this out, because in the title, Kiss rocker Gene Simmons recovering after crashing. And look at that, crashing equals 43. When you convert the letters into numbers, crashing equals 43, and this was 43 days after his birthday that he crashes this SUV. Check that out right there, okay? Look at that, 43. You see the language here. 43 days after his August 25th birthday. Crashing also equals 79. That's ABC 123 when you apply that method. That's the 22nd prime number. Crash equals 22. Gene equals 22. His last birthday, a 22 date numerology. Crash also has the 32 like Kiss. Malibu equals 22. He fainted while driving along the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. Crashed into a parked car. Say the authorities. That's what the authorities say. Look at how this stuff syncs up, and it makes you question the news story. Crash also has 32 like Kiss. Malibu's got 58 like Kiss. His last birthday, Gene Simmons on the left there. 58 date numerology. He's born in 1949 when Crash equals 49. Their debut album, I guess it's just titled Kiss, released February 18th, 1974. The day leaving, or the 49th day of the year when Crash equals 49 and he's born in 49. You cannot deny that. And look at these kind of like shock rock theme going on here, right? You see this with the kind of like rap group Insane Clown Posse, huh? With the face paint. But you could see Kiss before Insane Clown Posse. You could see them with the face paint kind of get up right there. Totally different like music styles kind of, but they got like that shock value. Look at that 218. So you see that 218 release date for that debut studio album. 218. Gene Simmons' birthday left 128. 128 days. This crash in California. California equals 182. So The album releases on the 18th day of the second month, 182. When California equals 182, the birthday leaving 128. That's just like someone else's photo who probably did a story on YouTube. I use the photo. I don't I don't think it's the actual vehicle. It's just a crash image they use cuz I didn't see any images. Like they're going to talk about Trump in this story, okay? Kiss retired from a half century of touring in 2023. We talked about that earlier, but Simmons and his bandmates plan to play in November at a special event in Vegas. In August, President Donald Trump announced that Kiss will be among this year's Kennedy Senator honorees. August is Gene Simmons' birthday. And August is that 8th month. We know Trump equals 88. That stuff's not a coincidence. The Kennedy Center honors are annual honors given to those in the performing arts for their lifetime of contributions to American culture. Right? Kiss. Gene Simmons, the demon, which he goes by. Right? That was pretty cool. Is it still. I mean, he got in a car crash by the numbers. I don't know if I feel like sorry. Probably not. Right? This is the demon right here. Gene Simmons. Is the video gonna play over here or not? No, I may have to utilize. Yeah.
Gene Simmons' recent car crash. The Kiss bassist was involved in an accident on the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu earlier this week. Authorities say Simmons' SUV crossed several lanes and hit a parked vehicle. Officials believe he may have suffered a medical episode before the crash, possibly related to medication or dehydration. Simmons was taken to the hospital for evaluation, but has since been released. He posted on social media saying he's completely fine and called it a slight fender bender. His wife, Shannon Tweed, also said he's recovering well and is already back at work. The 75-year-old music legend even joked about being a horrible driver after the incident. Luckily, no one else was hurt.
All right. And what was if you didn't know, let's go over here. Name the band Kiss top songs. Rock and Roll at Night, Detroit, Rock City, Beth, I Was Made for Loving You. Man, you know what's amazing about that? I just did a Detroit Tigers story right here. Look at this right here. What are the odds? I mean, I guess it's not like a huge like surprise, but what are the odds? I just did this video yesterday. The Tigers rally to beat Mariners 9-3. I wonder what happened in that following game 5, but Detroit Tigers, and now, we hit on Detroit Rock City with Gene Simmons and Kiss. And look, Rush was brought up in that breakdown, the 50-something tour. And they're talking about 50 years of Kiss. If you heard that video earlier, if I don't got to edit it out. 4 letters Rush, 4 letters Kiss. 5 years after the death of this drummer, when 50 is kind of like 5. That's pretty wild, huh? And look, man, because that connected to Ted Kennedy with the death of his first wife, Joan. And now Trump's talking about a Kennedy Center honoree, Kiss. Isn't that interesting? I think so. All of the stuff is connected like that. Pretty, is what it is, huh? So let's go back over here. So that stuff was undeniable. In my opinion, you don't have to agree, but something has to give too. It could be a warning like, hey, we gave you a lot of success. We gave you a lot of success. I mean, you're born in 49. The Kiss debut studio album debuted on the 49th day of the year. Crash equals 49. Remember, Crash equals 32 like Kiss. Malibu 22. The 22nd prime number is 79. Crashing equals 79. Oh, Gene equals 22 like Crash. I think I did not say that earlier. Womp, womp, womp. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. Crash has the 22 like Gene. 22 date numerology on his birthday. It's early. Dead equals 22 also. You're lucky, Gene. Kiss rocker Gene Simmons recovering after crashing his SUVs. They're saying something about medication and the doctor changing his prescription or whatever. Okay. So that's it is what it is. Until next time.